Alright, so there's a overextended tournament again tonight. This is the deck I'm going to be battling with. It's called Locust Pocus. It's basically a 12-post deck. We've got our 4 Glimmer Posts, our 4 Cloud Posts, and our 4 Fesuvas. A couple of utility lands over here. 4 Ghost Quarters, an Academy Ruins, and a Tolaria West to go and fetch, the 12-post, any of the nonsense lands. Chalice of the Void, which is a new addition, and then afterboard Bojuka Bog and Tormod's Crypt are also targets for it. A couple breeding pools, a couple forests, a couple islands. One of the cool things that I like about this is Ghost Quarter is good against obviously the decks without very many basics. It's just Wasteland at that point, like Affinity. Sometimes Zoo, but they usually have 1 or 2 or 3 basics in there, so not as good. You can sometimes cut them off color if you can get them a couple times. But anyway, the best thing and the thing that I do most often with it is to Ghost Quarter myself. I Ghost Quarter usually Glimmer Post, hopefully Glimmer Post, to go and get a land to fix my colors, and then with either Crucible or Life from the Loam, replay the Glimmer Post and gain some life off of it. And then if like I said, if I have Life from the Loam or Crucible going, I can do that again and again and gain a bunch of life that way, which is pretty nice, especially against the aggro decks. Obviously, got a couple Moments Peace for the aggro decks just to buy that time, and again against decks like Living End, it's actually really nice. They get out a bunch of guys and get to fog their attack when they think they're gonna kill me in one swing, and then they get to fog and attack back. That's always good. And just to buy those 2 turns is really key. Chalice of the Void, like I said, a pretty new addition. Also good against Living End, which is why I put it in here, really. I was reading Gavin's article that he put up on mtgoverextended.com today, and he mentioned Chalice of the Void as a card that's good against Living End, and it's also a card that, if you remember back when Elves first became popular, it was one of the cards that people played a lot to fight that deck as well. And those are really 2 of the matchups that I was scared about, was Living End and Elves, my combo matchups particularly. So we got Chalice of the Void, 2 Crucible of Worlds, and 1 Life from the Loam. This doesn't feel right. Like, it's better to gifts for Life from the Loam, because they can't deny you Life from the Loam at that point. But especially with Oracle of Moldiah, I like Crucible better. It's a little bit more disruptible though, which is never good. But Life from the Loam doesn't work as well with Ghost Quarter Glimmer Post as Crucible does. So right now I like the split, but it's probably not correct. A couple Lodestone Golems for the combo matchups. I really wanted something to stop Storm decks, not stop them, but to at least be competitive with Storm decks. And this was the best thing I could find. Plus, it's nice to have a large guy that I can play against Control pretty early to apply the pressure starting then. A couple gifts I'm given. I had Realms Uncharted in here because I usually really only search for lands, but it only costs 1 more mana. I was already playing blue for Academy Ruins, and it gives me the ability to get Mindslaver in there to set up the Mindslaver lock. I actually, in testing, against a Living End deck, when he went off with Living End, I gifts in response for a Sundering Titan, a Platinum Empyrean, a Wormcoil Engine, and a Triskelion. Obviously, he gave me the Wormcoil Engine and the Triskelion, and that was actually good enough to buy me a couple turns, and then the next turn, I had a bunch of mana. I could play around with that. It bought me a couple of turns. Is the point? I didn't end up winning that game, unfortunately, but nonetheless, it's something that you can do. A couple Oracles. I found that this deck was really good, but when you could play multiple lands in a turn, it really helps the Ghost Quarter Glimmer Post plan, and also just to get a couple extra lands going, especially since so many of your lands come into play tapped. Not really, so many, like 8 to 12 if you don't want to take damage, but enough of the important ones come into play tapped that being able to play 2 in a turn is really, really nice. I used to have a Zeusa in here, but when you're playing 2 lands a turn, she loses her value very quickly, which I didn't like, so she got the axe for Chalice of the Void. I also had a Oblivion Stone in here, and I must have just forgot to put it in. But the tournament has actually already started as I'm recording this, and I just didn't have it in the list. I like one Oblivion Stone to be able to search for, to be able to blow up, like against Enduring Ideal, being able to blow up their solitary confinements and things like that. It might not actually be needed since I have Platinum Empyrean, and I think that's going to beat Enduring Ideal by itself, but I'm not actually sure. I guess we'll find out if I ever play against it. Wormcoil Engine, just the best thing that you can be doing for 6 colorless mana, I think. Mindslaver, obviously, to set up the lock. There used to be 2, but you just don't need it, I don't think. Couple Sundering Titan, couple Platinum Empyrean. Sundering Titan has not actually been very impressive. I thought that it was going to be one of my better creatures, but it's not been very good. I think that I'm just going to play a set of Platinum Empyrean. This guy has been a monster for me. You know, against the aggressive decks, like Zoo has Path to Exile, but main deck, not a lot of the aggressive decks can beat it. Like the red-green elves from last week, I don't think that they can beat it. I don't remember them having Viridian Shaman or Viridian Corruptor or anything like that. So it's just it'll Stone Cold win you certain matchups, and there's not much more you can ask for out of a card than to just win the game by itself. And then I don't think I talked about Triskelion. He's in here for the elf matchup. There was a lot of elves, and I thought that since Cranderson did so well with it last week, it might get picked up a lot. And I haven't seen it yet this week, so that may be wrong, but Triskelion was the thing that I thought would be the best to fight elves while also being something that was good in other matchups. Like, I didn't want to play Engineered Explosives or something like this because I can't really get it past two Sunbursts very often. And I want to be able to kill things that cost more than 2, especially against the aggressive elf deck. I want to be able to kill Azuri and Elvish Archdruid and things like that, which is where Triskelion really helps. And then against the combo deck, being able to kill 3 of their Heritage Druid, their Heritage Druid and a Nettle Sentinel, or a Heritage Druid, a Birchlow Rangers, and like a Llanowar Elf, or what have you. It's just really, really important. Onto the sideboard, we've got Tormod's Crypt, 3 Relic, and a Bojuka Bog. 5 total Graveyard Hate cards spread across 3 cards, so I can gifts for them and get at least one of them every time. I actually noticed in one of my rounds that I played against Living End that it kind of stinks. I had a Chalice of the Void in 0 on play, so I couldn't gifts for Tormod's Crypt because he would just give me that and I couldn't play it, and that would be that. So that was kind of a bummer. This should probably be a Nile Spellbomb, but at the same time, I do like being able to Talaria West for this, so I can probably just Talaria West for a Bojuka Bog. So yeah, it should probably be a Nile Spellbomb. An extra Moment's Peace for the aggro decks, Affinity, things like that. Nature's Claim, just as a catch-all. I just wanted to make sure that there was not a situation I could run into where I would just have my pants down against a certain card, like I did last week when I ran into a Ethersworn Canonist with my Storm deck and just couldn't beat it because I just didn't prepare enough, to be honest with you. A couple Creeping Corrosion. Affinity was the most played deck last week, so I wanted to have something to really hammer them. So there's that. The tournament has actually already started, like I said, as I'm recording this. We're through 4 rounds, and I am 3-1. I won the first round against the Living End deck. I lost the second round to a crazy Countryside Crusher, Treasure Hunt, Conflagrate deck. I won the first game when I Mindslavered him pretty early. I had an unmolested Cloudpost Vesuva draw, which got me a ton of mana early, and I got to play Wormcoil Engine and like I said, Mindslaver and things like this before he could kill me with his Conflagrate, which was good. So I managed to get him before he could get me. The next 2 games, I had Leyline of Sanctity in play on turn 0 both games, so he couldn't Conflagrate me, but sure enough, he just played a couple of Countryside Crushers, and I just couldn't deal with them before they killed me. They got to 10 plus power very quickly. I imagine he was playing, like, after board he had Mana Leak and Negate, so I imagine he was playing something on the order of like 36 lands or something like that. I'm sure he had 4, maybe less than 4 Conflagrate, but certainly 4 Countryside Crusher that I saw in game 1, and almost certainly 4 Treasure Hunt. I can't imagine why you would ever run less than that. And then just a ton of lands. He had Skarg and things like this. Oh, excuse me. So I would like to get the first 2 rounds, but I was at work while oh my goodness, I forgot to report this. Yikes, I'm holding everybody up. Anyway, I was at work when the first 2 rounds happened, so I didn't get my match against the Countryside Crusher deck or the first Living End deck. I'm going to try and get those tomorrow, so hopefully they'll be up, but if they're not, that's what happened. The 3rd round I played against Red Deck wins. You should have videos of that. I actually should have lost to him, but it was my friend Phil, and I gave him the deck, and he was headed out, so he ended up conceding to me. I didn't earn the win, but I got it anyway, so what are you going to do? And then this last round I played against Living End again, and managed to beat that 2-0, as you can see right over here. Anyway, that's the deck, Locus Pocus. It's a ton of fun. It's not correct yet, but I think I'm going to keep working on it, unlike the Storm deck that I played last week, which I just completely gave up on. This format seems really hostile to Storm combo decks, so I don't think I need to worry about those very much. But yeah, oh man, this deck is just an absolute blast to play. Tons of fun, lots of neat little interactions. All kinds of different cards you could play. Like I had so much trouble narrowing my sideboard down to 15 cards. I wanted to play like 40 cards. There's just so much stuff you can do in this format. And again, thanks so much to Gavin Verhey for putting all this together. It's a great format, tons of fun. You get to play all kinds of kooky decks. I mean, you look at the breakdown of decks that were played last week. There was 62 players, I think. The most played deck there was 7 copies of, and then there was like 4 copies of a couple decks, 3 copies of a couple decks, 2 copies of like 2 or 3 decks, and then 1 copy of like 20 decks. Like, there's just so much diversity. So, like I said, thanks a ton to Gavin Verhey for really spearheading this whole campaign and giving us a place to play this incredible format. I really hope it gets picked up by Wizards, either this or Modern. I don't know which one I favor more. I really like Overextended, like we're playing now. It's a lot of fun, but even if we don't play that, you can still play this deck. You just don't get to play with Moment's Peace, so what are you going to do? But it's still a lot of fun. Anyway, that's the deck. Give it a shot. Make some changes to it. And if you have any comments, post them on here. And I'll try and respond to them. All right. Thanks for watching.